Now that we established that this is the price firms in a perfectly competitive market take, firms are price takers, we're going to move on to the short run situation. In the short run, firms are seeking to profit maximize, and there's three different scenarios that you could have in the short run. In the short run, a very important thing to memorize is MR equals MC. The MR equals MC method is the point at which firms are either making abnormal profits, normal profits, or losses. These 3 points. An abnormal profit is a positive economic profit. A normal profit is zero economic profit. So this is kind of important to understand because on paper it sounds like an actual profit, but in reality there is zero profit being made. And a loss. A loss is obviously negative economic profit. But it's very important that you understand what this point actually means on the graph. There's 3 different diagram scenarios that you could have. These 3 diagrams, which we're going to go through right now. What we see right here is a normal economic profit at the point where the marginal cost and the marginal revenue diagrams intersect. Right here at this point, they equal. And because the average total cost is the same as the market price, what comes in essentially goes out. So the price equals ATC. Therefore, this is a normal economic profit. I'm going to make this nice for you guys. I guess not. Okay. In this instance, we see that the marginal cost still intersects with the marginal revenue. This is the profit maximizing firm situation. But we see that something is different here than here. What could it be? Well, in this instance, the market price is higher than the firm's average total cost. When the price is higher than the average total cost, we have an abnormal profit. So this is the situation we're in. So when you see the price being higher than the average total cost, you must understand that this rectangle right here is the area where abnormal profits are being made. So this is the profit maximizing point where MR equals MC. And because the price is higher than the average total cost, there is an abnormal profit being made. So abnormal profit means a positive economic profit. Right here, previously, we saw that the price equals the average total cost. And again, this is the same point where MR equals MC. MR equals MC because they intersect. So at the intersection, these two equal to one another. So the only thing that changed between this graph and this graph is the ATC. The ATC is lower on this side than here. That's the only thing that changed. Now we see on this third scenario that the average total cost is higher than the market price. So ATC, this means that we have a loss. So a loss, a negative economic profit. It's very important that you understand that when this line is below the market price, we're making an abnormal profit. When this line is above the market price, we're making an abnormal loss, a negative economic profit. Oftentimes students see this graph and think this is an abnormal profit. I know I was guilty of this as well, but it's very important that you understand that when this rectangular box is above the market price, we're making an abnormal loss. Or we're making a loss, which is a negative economic profit. Next, we're going to look at long run situations, and you're going to see that in the long run, This is the only possible market situation for firms. So, a small recap. In the short run, firms are trying to profit maximize. They profit maximize at the MRMC method. And when they're profit maximizing, they can have three different types of profit. They can have an abnormal profit, they can have a normal profit, and they can have a loss. Desirably, of course, you as a firm, you would want to have an abnormal profit, which you would aim to see when your average total costs are lower than the market price. If you have a normal profit, it's because your price equals the average total cost, and you're making a loss when your average total cost is greater than the market price. Again, this is the review. These are the three diagrams that you need to understand. And please note that the only thing that's different in each one of these diagrams is where the average total cost line is placed. Again, MCMR and ATC, very important to note.